Hello friends and welcome to yet another exhilarating video of Wisdom Zone, and this is Shubro, and today I have a surprising video for you because today I'm going to discuss about most useful proverbs in English that you must know. So it is my request, please watch this video carefully so that you can learn all the useful proverbs which I'm going to discuss today. And again, it's my request, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe to my channel Wisdom Zone and hit the bell icon and turn on the notification so that you can get further notification of this type of video. So without further ado, let's get started. So as you see friends, today we have an exhilarating session because today I'm going to discuss about most useful proverbs in English and that you must know. So before I move on, let me quickly remind that this is a new series, and before I start discussing the most useful proverbs in English, let me quickly just give you a brief definition of a proverb. So you must be wondering what exactly it is. So as you see on your screen, it is given what is a proverb. You must know what is a proverb. A proverb is a short sentence that people usually quote through which some wisdom or advice about life is expressed. Okay, so it is a kind of a short sentence that people use or they quote, okay, while conversing, especially through which you convey some wisdom or advice about life. You must also know that the majority of the proverbs have been used for centuries, right? So it's not that it's a new practice. We have been using proverbs for so long, right? So as you see, an example is given: a friend in need is a friend indeed. So this is a very old proverb, which means a true friend is someone who helps you when you are in trouble or crisis rather than disappearing that time. Okay, so that person helps you in crisis is called a friend in need, is a friend indeed. So you can see the second example: no pain no gain. It means that you have to work hard if you want to achieve something, right? That means in order to achieve something you have to sacrifice, you have to work hard, right? So proverbs are also called by different names. We can also call proverb maxim, right? As you see on your screen, a maxim, also axiom, a dictum. So these are the various names which are given to proverb, right? A maxim, it can be called an axiom or a dictum, right? As you see on your screen, I will also try to quickly discuss why we should use proverbs, because proverbs are very important. Because if you really want to take your English to next level and you want to add a new dimension to your communication, so you need to use proverbs, and it is an important way to make your speech more attractive, and you can also express some valuable advice and words of wisdom using those proverbs, right? And that you can do very effectively. And if you are also preparing for some examinations like TOEFL or IELTS or any sort of immigration examination, you must know the use of the proverbs so that you can use them, and it would be very important, right? So, without wasting any more time, today we are going to straight away dive into the 10 most useful proverbs in English that you must know. So, let's begin our discussion, and we will see the 10 most useful proverbs for today. So, the first one, as you see on your screen, is charity begins at home. So, this proverb is quite useful. It means one should take care of his or her family and other people who live around before helping others who perhaps live away. That means you have to give importance to your family or people around you rather than just helping or supporting people who live away or in other places, right? So let's see how to use this. So let's see the example. As you see on your screen, the example is given: before donating money to others, one must realize charity begins at home. So it is quite explanatory that before donating money to others, one must realize that you have to take care of your family and your family members first. Instead of saying family members, you can say this: charity begins at home. That means you have to take care of your family and the needs of your family member. It's a wonderful way to express or give a particular advice. So up next we will see the second one. As you see on your screen, the second proverb is jack of all trades, master of none. You must have heard of it. It is quite handy. Let me explain the meaning. So jack of all trade master of none. This proverb means a person who is able to do many things, but he is not an expert in any particular field, right? But he knows, or he may know or do many things, but he is not an expert in any, right? So let's see how to use it. As you see the example, Sam has become a jack of all trade but master of none. That means he knows different things, many things, but he is not quite expert in any one. Okay, so that's the way you can use it, and it is quite useful if you want to convey a very strong advice that someone is doing too many things without focusing on one thing. You can use this, that jack of all trades and master of none, right? So like this way you can use it. So up next we will see the third proverb on your screen, that is, all that glitters is not gold. So this is also quite useful, and it is also an old one. So it means things that look good outwardly may not be as valuable or as good as they look, right? So let's see how to use this wonderful proverb. As you see on your screen, the example is given. In life, we often get lured by outward appearance, and we don't realize all that glitters is not gold. That means we get attracted. Lure is to tempt. We get tempted by outward appearance without realizing that the things which look good from outside may not be that good in reality. Okay, so that's the way you can use this wonderful proverb, right? And lure means to tempt, and you will find this kind of important vocabulary, and that particular video is also there, and I have provided the link in the description. You can find many more important vocabulary from that particular video. So up next we will focus on the fourth proverb, which is on your screen, that is, empty vessel make much noise. So I'm quite sure you must be wondering what's the meaning of it. So it means fools and people with shallow knowledge often talk a lot, right? So that means when you're talking about people who are not very smart or intelligent, fools or people with shallow knowledge often talk a lot. So let's see how to use it. Kevin always shares his suggestion without anyone asking him, as empty vessels make much noise, right? So that's the way you can put it. He unnecessarily shows his intelligence. He tries to prove that he's quite knowledgeable. Without asking, he gives his advice. That's why this proverb is used. That means from inside he doesn't have that much of knowledge, but he tries to pretend. That's the way you can put this wonderful proverb. So up next we will focus on the next one. As you see on your screen, the next proverb, number 5th proverb, is a bird in hand is worth two in the bush, which is a very useful one. It means it is better to hold on to something you have than to risk losing it by trying to get something better, right? That means, it's suppose you have something, you have already got something, yeah, that is, you have in your hand. So it's better to hold on to that thing than to wait for better things to happen and lose what you have, right? So let's see this proverb and how to use this in a sentence. As you see the example, Peter is postponing his joining date because he thinks he might get another better offer. But he must know a bird in hand is worth two in the bush. That means Peter is trying to wait, and he's trying to wait for some better offer, and he's postponing his date of joining. That's why this proverb is used, that he must know that what he already got, he should hold on to it rather than to wait for better things, which again, while doing that, he may lose what he has already, right? So that's the way you can put it. So up next we will see the sixth one. Sixth proverb is on your screen. Beggars can't be choosers. So it is also quite useful and important proverb. So it means people with no other options must be content with what is offered, right? People with no options, people who don't have options, no other option, must be content with what is offered, what is given to them, right? So let's see how to use it. I asked Sam to lend me 5,000, but he offered me 2,000 only, which I accepted, as beggars can't be choosers, right? So that means I didn't have option. Although I needed 5,000, but he offered me 2,000 only, but I accepted it because beggars can be choosers, because I was in that kind of situation. I didn't have other options, right? So that's the way you can put it, right? So I hope it's clear. So let's see the seventh proverb for today. That is on your screen. A cat might look at a king. You must be wondering what exactly the meaning of this proverb. a cat may look at a king means even someone of low status has rights. Okay, it means people who are not affluent, who are not the rich, they also have rights. Okay, so that's the meaning of this wonderful proverb. So let's see how to use it in a sentence. As you see on your screen, the example is given. In some New Year events, only affluent people are allowed to join, but there should be entry for all, as a cat may look at a king. So that's the way it can be used. That means entry for all should be made mandatory. Okay, because obviously people who are not affluent, people who are underprivileged or humble background, they have also equal rights, they have their own rights, right? So that's the way you can use this. That's the meaning of this proverb. So let's move on to the eighth proverb for today, that is better safe than sorry. So it is also quite a handy one. It means it is always better to be careful than to do something you may later regret, right? So you have to be careful and do things than to do something and later on regret. So let's see how to use this proverb. Yesterday I saw Tom was riding his bike without wearing a helmet. That's why I told him to put on his helmet. It is better safe than sorry. Okay, so that's the way you can put it. That means I, by expressing the proverb, told him that he should try to be careful rather than to regret later on. Okay, because if he doesn't wear a helmet, he might meet an accident, right? So that's the way you can put it. So up next we will see the ninth proverb for today, that is fortune favors the brave, or we can also say fortune favors the bold. Both can be used. So what's the meaning of this proverb? So let's see the meaning. The meaning of this proverb is those who are courageous are often the most successful, right? So let's see how to use this proverb. If you want to become a successful entrepreneur, then you have to take more risk, as fortune favors the brave, right? So that's the way you can put it. That means if you want to become a successful entrepreneur, then you have to take risk, as you know that as fortune favors the brave, right? Or the bold. So up next, let's turn our attention towards the 10th and the last proverb for today, that is all wells that ends well, right? So the meaning of this proverb is we can forget how unpleasant or difficult something was as long as the outcome is good. That means we can easily forget how unpleasant or difficult something was as long as the outcome or what happens at last is good, right? So let's see how to use this. We can use this proverb like this way. We had a torrid time during the first wave of COVID-19, but all's well that ends well, right? So I hope you found this video extremely helpful, because today we discussed what is a proverb and why we should use proverb, and we will also discuss 10 most useful proverb in English that you must know and you must use in your conversation, and also if you're preparing for IELTS or any other test, other exam, competitive examination, you can also just go through these proverbs. They are going to be very beneficial for you. So I hope you found this video extremely helpful, and again it is my earnest request, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe to Wisdom Zone and hit the bell icon so that you can turn on the notification and you can get more notification of this type of informative video. So stay tuned for following.